MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty is notorious for being the most no money spent friendly ultimate team mode in the world. And a lot of it is because they juice the free content. You get tons of free packs, you get great cards from programs. It's great. Kudos SDS. But another reason is because there are ways to play the market and invest in cards and get your stubs up. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So tap in. All right, so we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can make stubs today. The first way is not my favorite way, but I have seen some people have success with it, so I do want to mention it. All right, to do this, we're going to have to hop into Road to the Show, and you're going to have to go through the intro and all that. I just kind of skipped through. They made me a nice bald Asian dude with a beard. I'm looking nice, but what you really want to do is go up to the top here and scroll over to Packages and go into the show shop, and it'll bring you to a Road to the Show specific shop. And you've got this little equipment bundle here. It's 1,000 stubs for 4 silver or better equipment items. And what you do basically is you can buy a few of these and hope to get some gold and diamond equipment items, and you can sell them off for profit. It's not guaranteed, but it's a little low risk way to try and do this. So like, I'm going to go ahead and buy 5 right now, and we'll just kind of see what happens here. All right, so you can see like on my first one that I just opened, I've got a nice gold equipment here. So I just got to remember I pulled a gold batting glove as I go through. Here's another gold equipment. And you see some of this stuff maybe might not sell for much, which is why I say it's not super reliable. It was a little better earlier in the game, but hopefully we can make a little bit of profit here. We'll see what happens. All right, so I went through and opened all the packs, and you know, I want to go through and list some of the stuff I pulled. Like this back grip, for example, I know goes for a couple thousand. So that's, you know, like 1,000 stubs profit off of that one pack there. Of course, a couple of them I didn't hit on. So this is really kind of like if you're just kind of feeling like gambling a little bit, a little low risk gambling with a chance at making a little bit of extra stubs. Go in there, Road to the Show, get your equipment bundles. Nice little gambling. All right, the second method we're going to talk about is more long-term, but it's a lot of fun to do, and it gets you into the baseball season a little bit. We're going to talk about investing a little bit. Now, what do I mean when it comes to investing? So with MLB The Show, the live series cards, so these cards here are going to go up and down throughout the season with roster updates. As players perform, they can increase or decrease in ratings. And of course, with that comes tier changes. They'll go from bronze to silver, silver to gold, gold to diamond, etc. All right, so why is that important to you? Well, bronze cards, you can see they quick sell for 25 stubs a piece, whereas silver cards are going to quick sell, I believe, for 150 stubs a piece. No, 100 stubs. And honestly, if you go up to like a higher silver, it might even quick sell for higher. Yeah, 150 stubs a piece. And then golds are going to quick sell for even higher, like 1,200 stubs. Okay, so what you want to do is find you a player or 2 or 3 or however many that you think is going to outperform their ratings throughout the season, and go ahead and invest in them. All right, here's an example. Here's a guy, an Auburn guy, who I think has a good chance of bouncing back this year. Could go silver, maybe even gold. Former really good player, Casey Mize. He's dealt with some injuries. So let's say I think Casey Mize is going to have a great year. He's going to come back. I go into the market here. He's only 50 stubs. So what I would want to do, and honestly, this is easier on the MLB The Show companion app, where you can just go in and type in a buy order and just tap buy, and put in a bunch of buy orders. But if you go in here and you'll see people have 38 buy orders in here, 60 buy orders in here. You can buy 50, 100 of this card for, you know, a few thousand stubs, and you're just going to want to hold them. And if he just goes up to a silver, I mean, you could just quick sell all of those cards for 150 stubs, and you're making 100 stubs a piece. But, you know, that's just worst case scenario. Maybe he goes gold and you're quick selling for 1,200 stubs a piece. And all of a sudden you're pretty much making 1,200 stubs a piece. So investing in cards and hoping that they go up, obviously you're going to have to like get off of them if they're not doing well in the regular season, but that's a long-term way. Now let's talk about the most immediate way to make stubs. All right, back in the marketplace, and we are going to talk about flipping the auction house. So there's really 2 ways that you can do this. You can kind of try and micro flip, where you go down and find some lower rated players and buy up a bunch of them and sell them for small profit. Or you can look for a little bit larger profit margins and do them a little bit less often. So what am I talking about? Let me explain. First thing you're going to want to know is that just like any Diamond Dynasty or Ultimate Team auction house, whenever you sell a card, there is a 10% tax that goes into the ether sphere to keep the marketplace kind of balanced. So if I sell this Cattell Marte for 120,000 coins, I don't come home with 120,000. 12,000 comes off of that, and I come home with 108,000. Very, very important, because as you can see, he's selling for 108,000 on the sell now, so there's no profit margin there. If I buy him for 120,000, if I bought him for 108,000 here and then sold him for 120,000, you would think you were making profit, but you're not. You're pretty much just coming out even. So the first thing you want to do is find something with a decent profit margin. Now, profit margins aren't great right now because everybody's trying to make stubs. But for example, this card's not the best example, but this Goose Gossage is a BR reward. A lot of people aren't selling all their BR rewards, but there's a decent profit margin here. If I were to sell this card at 62,000, 6,000 comes off of it, I come home with about 56,000. So you're looking at making just under 2,000 stubs. So all you would want to do here is go in and create a buy order, and you would look at these buy orders here. So the highest one is 54,285. So I would just make mine 54,286, and we would go in and we would get that and we would buy it. And then as soon as we get the card, we would come in and we would go to sell, create a sell order for just under, what the highest one is. So we would go 61,999 and create a sell order. And you can see we would come home with 55,799. So that's about a 1,600 stub profit right there. So what I would normally do is try to look for a few decent profit margins, put in the buy orders, maybe go play a conquest game or something, come back, relist them with sell orders, go play a conquest game, rinse and repeat. Now, like I said, the profit margins are not great on higher cards right now. So if you're looking to really grind it out, you're going to need the MLB The Show companion app. I'm going ahead and telling you right now, because you're probably going to want to put 50 to 100 orders in on each card. This is micro flipping. We're looking at Brock Stewart right here as an example. Look at the profit margin on Brock Stewart. It's pretty big. Hey, look, you can see that back grip that I pulled earlier just sold. But back to Brock Stewart. So if you sell Brock Stewart here for 97 stubs, you are going to get taxed 10%, which means, 9.7. So let's say 10 stubs come off, you come home with 87 stubs. Well, if you can buy him for 55 stubs, that's a 32 stub profit, which isn't much, correct? Well, that's why when you look at this right here, you can see somebody has 37 buy orders in for 55 stubs. So what they're going to do, they're going to buy 37 of them, and they're going to go through eventually, because everybody's pulling these bronze cards. And let's say he buys 37 cards at 55 stubs a piece, and then he turns around and sells them all for 97 stubs a piece. That means he's coming home with about a 20 stub profit 37 different times, which all in all amounts to about a 700 stub profit or so. Not a whole lot, but here's the thing, you do it over and over again. So here's what I like to do. Right before bed, you come in, you open up your MLB The Show companion app, because what you can do is you can tap on a player. Let's say I went in and I typed in 56 for my buy order for Brock Stewart, and then you can just hit place order, place order, place order, place order, place order, place order, place order. Just tap it over and over and over and over and over again. And you can do a lot of buy orders. So open up your app and just put in 50 to 100 orders for like 5 to 10 different players right before you go to bed. And then the next day, whenever you're bored, you're brewing your coffee in the morning or whatever that you bought, go ahead and list the sell orders the same way. Passively, you're going to make a few hundred to a few thousand stubs each night. All right, y'all, a little bit shorter video this time, but I had it requested, so I wanted to just kind of break it down and get y'all on the road to making a few more stubs. Hopefully you can join me on this no money spent path. I hope you learned something. If you have any other questions about flipping or the marketplace or anything like that, drop them down in the comments below. Please leave me a like and subscribe. Helps get the video out there so more people can see it. As always, I super appreciate y'all. We will see you next time. Peace out.